but the session before that. We're gonna pretend last session didn't happen. Because
Okay,
I
what
feel like that'd be
happened the
easier.
session before then?
That's
Uh,
what I'm
so
asking you.
the session before last was the museum heist, museum madness.
Ah, yes. But at
Let
night.
me. Yes, the heist, but at night.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Freddie Doyle came in to the um, Freddie Doyle, the halfling contractor. We got an update from him. He'll be done soon. We went to get some work from Davil, and Davil pointed us to the tiara that was being moved into a museum. Somebody apparently owns it and wants it stolen back for them. So we decided we would take that job opportunity. And there were many hijinks had in the process of getting the heist set up, which gave us a bunch of things to chase down after the fact at a later date. Um, and it ended with us having a huge rave outside of a museum at I think 1 in the morning or
Yeah.
something. And we swiped the tiara and escaped into the night. And I believe we reconvened. We dropped it at the dead drop. We saw it get picked up by a pretty purple tiefling lady who looks weirdly like Feyre, but is in no way related to Feyre. And I forget how we found out that. Oh no, that was after we had talked to Davil. Disregard that. But we saw her pick it up. We explained to Feyre, who was not there during the heist, what all had happened, involved as well as Clint shooting both himself and another comrade, um, uh, Ashley starting the rave and making a concert happen, Mutt getting shot and then running away, uh, getting chased by the cops. What am I forgetting? Yes. Then we had decided to go meet up with Davil, got our reward. Davil pointed us in the direction we had asked, hey, who is even the person who picked it up? And he had said, who's asking? But she runs a tinker shop. So, if that's who she is. And so we decided to go check out this tinker shop because we were like, who the fuck? Because
I thought
first
we
off,
weren't doing that part though.
no, we are because we're outside the tinker shop.
Okay.
Yeah, we were gonna go investigate who the purple tiefling lady was
Yeah, we're
because
restarting that interaction because you left halfway through, and then immediately after you left, we just called it off. So we're just restarting that interaction.
Huh.
Yeah, and the goal was to figure out who she is and what her relationship to the tiara was because she wanted it stolen back, which was a thing of note rather than stolen initially, which meant it somehow ended up in the possession of um I don't know who, but ended up in the possession of someone else and then turned to interned at a museum. And I am scrapping all of the stuff that we learned about the actual tiara up to then. Aside from the actual function it has, which it has some light spells and stuff on it.
Okay. So, if everyone is ready,
Mm-hmm.
and if we have no objections at the altar, um, say we press play with all of you arriving in front of the address that Davil wrote down on a napkin for you all. Actually, not a napkin. No, he's more classy than that. It was on a piece of paper ripped from his little black book.
But like ripped in that way where you kind of press down on the middle portion, the middle segment of the paper, so that it makes a perfect tear.
Yep. Yeah,
Like
that's exactly
Batman
how he does it.
Illustrated.
Yeah. Listen, it's a practiced motion. He's used to giving out information from his book. He's had years of practice with this. And you all find yourselves in front of a shop with a wooden sign with purple script reading out Corey's Custom Creations.
Corey, not Corey.
Yeah, Corey.
Did
Okay.
somebody say Corey?
No.
I have to ask and clarify every time because I want to make sure it's not Corey.
It is not Corey. It's Corey. That is an I, not an E.
Gotcha. Okay, just gotta quadruple clarify. Thank you. So Corey's Custom
Creations.
Creations.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And, assuming that you all do walk inside, once you do, you find what looks to be a tinkerer's shop with shelves filled with different items. Items ranging from jewelry to accessories to some weapons here and there and some devices. Sorry, I got distracted. I saw a Claire message and I was like, when does that happen? I was like, it got my attention immediately. Damn it, Piper. No, not
What?
that Corey. This Corey's cooler.
Is it Corey C? C-O...
No, it's a K. It's in the NPCs.
Oh. Well, shit. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure. Gotcha.
Mm.
Thank you.
But yes, you see different shelves lined very neat aisles, and you see the pictured tiefling lady. Oop. Pictured tiefling lady there behind her work, behind the counter. Looks like she is tuning a watch of some sort. She's working on some small device. And she looks up as a little like bell at the top of the door rattles and jingles out a little like 5-note tune as you all enter into the shop.
Well, what's the tune, Amy?
Oh my god. Fucking...
Carol of the Bells. It's Carol of the Bells.
Only 5 notes of it, though.
Yeah. Ding dong, ding dong, ding.
Then Clint will salute into the darkness and say, "Hello there!" Not into the darkness, into the shop.
I was about to say into the darkness? What?
For some reason, I assumed the shop was dark. That's not at all the case. It's daylight. It's daytime. And I assume the shop has windows.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, he'll just call out hello into the shop.
You see the lady take off the like little goggles she had on because she's a tinkerer. She has to have goggles. It's the law. And she takes them off, puts them down on the counter, as she like stands up, stretching out her like arms and cracking her fingers. For she's working on something very, very tiny. And she says, Hi there. Sorry, I didn't see you all come in.
Well, how do you do? My name is Clint. It's a pleasure to meet you, miss.
That'd be Corey. My name is Corey. Hi, it's so good to meet you all. If you'd like to take a look around the shop, I'd be more than happy to help you all.
I do want to look around and look at trinkets. I was told there would be trinkets.
It's a tinker shop. Of course there's trinkets.
Yeah. Favor will also just kind of like casually strolling at the back of the group, just start perusing a couple of the shelves.
Mm-hmm. All right. She just like gestures for y'all to take a look around, and if you need any help, then just don't hesitate to ask me for anything. And I think what I told you all was here before I was able to organize all of my things. There was a where is it? Here it is. What looks like a device that goes on the forearm, and it looks like a tiny little mini ballista, and little tag on it labeled wrist-mounted grappling hook. There was something the size of like a soup can, with like a little like sticker on it labeled party can. There was a single like cuff earring labeled the treble cuff, and there was a what looks to be sort of firearm that had a weird orb on the top of it.
Orb?
Not orb, but like glass ball, essentially, as part of it.
Gotcha.
And those are some of the items that you guys just find at a cursory glance. If anyone else wants to keep looking, let me know.
Firearm, you said treble clef earring, and then the can with the sticker on the bottom, and then the wrist-mounted grappling hook.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Now, what all these be of your creation?
Yeah, I make everything in-house myself. That's why there's pretty much only really one of every single item. I don't really have the materials to mass produce things or make more than one. Pretty lucky if I'm able to make two.
You appear to be quite talented.
I know I'm skilled in my own right. It's just a matter of finding the right materials and also the right inspiration to make things and make sure that they fit thematically. Because I don't really want to just make a simple thing that doesn't really fit and is kind of boring. But that also kind of leads to very interesting items.
What would you be saying your most interesting would be?
The most recent one, well, that party can I kind of made when I was not.
Soba?
That's a word for it. But again, all of my more serious and more higher quality items, I do not drink at all. When I make those, I make sure that those are worth all the gold that they are charged for. But some of the smaller items, I treat them more as thought exercises when I make them. And I think that they could be fun. And maybe someone will find a use for them.
So what's these actually do? Kind of shaking the party can a little bit.
Don't shake that, please.
Okay. Hold it further away from his head.
It's not dangerous. I swear. None of these are dangerous. Well, some of them are, but that's kind of the point of some of these items. But the please don't shake that one.
Fira will
Dangerous.
just very carefully with like two fingers take it out of Clint's hand and put it back on the shelf.
You see, what that one does is it's a one-time use item, and it essentially, once you open it, it kind of just decorates a big area in party gear.
Oh, well, that is really... Wait. Does it only work once?
Yes,
That's
it
what
does.
single use means, Clint.
Oh, well.
So, and also, it's a pretty big area. It decorates if I remember correctly, it's a 50 by 50 foot area, with party decorations and everything you'd need for a party. And my shop is not that big, nor is it
It needed decoration.
It's not needed decoration. Oh, I mean, maybe like my end of the summer party, maybe, but not right now.
Clint is wandering around. He's gonna wander over to the wrist-mounted grappling hook. Is it just like a glove, or is it like a little wristband that you can just... Can I fire it like Batman style?
Homie, I got you.
Yo, that's fucking cool.
That is pretty
Come
cool,
on.
actually.
There is only one of every item here.
Mm-hmm.
Fight, fight, fight.
Oh, I don't want it. I have enough mobility.
We're all rogues, and yet still, I crave the third dimension.
We're all rogues, but just being able to just fucking yeet yourself up a building is very nice.
That's very true.
As a mortal with no wingies, I would be
Going
very
up
much
in air is
interested.
good.
So Clint, hold on. Is it out? Is it in a display case? Can Clint put it on?
Roll me a d20.
And while he is examining that, Feyre will go towards the gun.
Okay. I will say that the gun is, in fact, all of the like straight up weapons are behind a display case.
Oh.
Unfortunately, Corey is smart enough to not just leave weapons just out for anyone to grab. And Clint, you go to grab, and it's at like super department stores where they have like Apple stores where they have like a phone on display for you to touch. It's on like a wire.
You can still put it on your arm.
Yeah, you could. It just has like safeties on. You can still try it on, but you just can't like move from the counter, nor can you fire it. And
Gonna try it
Feyre,
on.
you go to the gun sort of device. Again, it looks a little odd from a gun. It's not. Where the fuck is my link? There it is. I almost lost the gun. It looks a little bit unconventional, and you see that a little cardstock label on it. This says that it is called the Dragon Bolt Blaster.
Bruh.
And you see that designed into part of the hilt is a sort of dragon head motif. As there is a like glass ball that seems to have, as you like look at it in the light, it looks like little sparks of electricity in it.
That's fucking cool.
See, unfortunately, I don't think she's gonna do nothing with it if it's behind a glass case.
You could ask about it.
Feyre does not go for things she thinks is too rich for her blood. And if it's in a glass case, it's too rich for her blood.
To be
I
fair,
got you covered, Tyra. I go for whatever looks fucking cool.
I will say that, to be fair, there is a tiny little pocket knife in a glass case as well. Anything that is remotely a weapon is behind a glass case. 2 items over is like a tiny catfish themed whittling knife. It's like, yeah, Dragon Bolt Blaster, and then like some like I don't know, slingshot, right? And then right next to that is the catfish whittling knife. So it's more so from a safety standpoint than a these are really expensive standpoint.
Feyre will just pace the line of glass cabinets and then kind of looks towards Corey. So, why did I just go British with this? Fucking no.
Sorry, I have that effect on people.
Yeah, Mike, better get used to it.
Now you say everything here is one of a kind. Is that part of the reason why you would be wanting to reacquire some things?
Well, yeah, if I can literally make an item once, I'd want to make sure that, if I sell it with purpose, or if I want to, keep a hold of things that I can, keep them.
Mm. Would that be why you'd be trying to get a certain tiara back?
Well, obviously, wait.
Oh, we're just asking her, are we? Okay. I thought we were gonna play coy.
Can I shoot the grappling hook across the room
Oh my god.
in the middle of the conversation?
Oh my fucking god.
You know what's coming.
Yeah, I know.
The grappling hook needed to be behind the glass case more so than the gun, I think.
Yeah. Hindsight's 2020. However, Corey does not view a grappling hook as a weapon.
It's a weapon of
She views it
destruction.
She views it as a tool, and therefore tools do not need to be behind cases. Unfortunately, she does not have the hindsight of Clint existing.
True. Nobody can account for Clint.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. You know what? Here's the thing. It's tied down. It's not going to move. But, Joe, I will let you have a little bit of chaos.
Yay!
So Tori just nods to Farah's when she was like, yeah, she's like, yeah, of course. Wait. How do you guys know about this? About something that was supposed to be secret.
Well, we were trying to play coy to gain information, but I guess we're not, and we did your job for you. You're welcome.
Oh, so you're the ones that were hired. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, and well, thank you again for returning the item. I have it away in the back somewhere, and oh yes, I do like to keep tabs on my one-of-a-kind items.
Fucking crash.
Yeah, crash as Clint. The bolt? What's your intelligence score?
My intelligence score? It's actually quite high.
Yeah.
My intelligence score is 18.
Okay.
Damn.
So there is a little lock on it, keeping it from being fired. However, Clint is just messing with it, and he's just able to figure out that you gotta squeeze this lever and then twist it and loop it through this, and then boom, I can fire it. And then without thinking, he just fucking fires it, and it launches into a shelf across the room.
Yeah.
I imagine just right past Corey.
And Farah just slowly closes her eye. Takes a very slow breath.
Sorry about that. Oh, I figured out how it worked. Now, how do I put it back? Where it was.
For the record, we are not affiliated with him, and we will not be covering his property damage today.
Right, I had a lock on that.
I mean,
I know, I found it.
to be fair, he's actually would be. I'm sure if he has broken that shelf, he'd be more than happy to fix the shelf for you. Right, Clint?
He waves, trying to figure. He's now looking for the other options and switches to see if he can get it to detach and return, so he can put it back on the shelf where it was. And he's just kind of panicking and looks up and just goes, "Oh, absolutely! I would love to fix anything that I may or may not have broken."
Clint hits a button, and it starts retracting, and just very slowly, you just hear the of the shelf just slowly moving.
That's what I was gonna ask. That's what I was about to request.
Yeah, the shelf is just moving 1 inch every 5 seconds towards Clint as it's retracting.
Just let me. You know what? I'm just going. And you just see Farah hop over the counter uninvited to go to the shelf, put one hand on the shelf and yank the grappling hook back out of it. And then
just whiplash like a fucking
Yep.
like a measuring tape.
Yep, that's exactly what it fucking does.
I would like you to know that I will not be covering her property damage either. They are their own entities.
Okay, that is noted. I'm, something mending can't fix as long as it's not, one of my other inventions or products. It is fine, and I'm not. Please don't try to destroy things now that I've said that.
No, no, absolutely won't. In fact, my touching things days are over for now. And he will gingerly, awkwardly, like undo the straps to get the grappling hook launcher off of his arm and set it
Right.
onto the table, onto the countertop where it was.
Well, you. All of these art are for sale if you would like them. Pretty much everything is except for the tiara. I just got that back. I'd like to study it a bit more before I put it on the shelf.
Now, exactly why would you be needing this back?
Well, it's something that I created, and I want to study what it does. And what
So
it
you don't know what
can.
it does, even though you created it.
Oh, I am aware of what it does. It's more so discovering the type of situations that it can be most applicable to. And what situations would need one.
So do you run like a rental service then, rather than selling these items?
No, I only sell these. I do have some, I guess you could sort of call them product testers, but that's a very different thing.
Now, exactly how did this end up in a museum if it was so clearly something you wanted to hang on to?
Well, about 2.5 months ago, I kind of got robbed. Someone broke into the store, and I'm not really sure what gang they were affiliated with. Um, but they kind of went for all the valuable things, and that being the most valuable looking of them all, it looks like a tiara. And
Well,
they
it's terrible. Sorry.
No, you're right. It is terrible. They just stole a tiara that I had made, and well, I guess they saw what I had labeled it as, and they assumed it was the real thing and not just an inspiration of the fairy tale. And well, I tried to find it, and I saw that it was on the black market. And next thing I hear is that the museum has bought it. And well, the city guard isn't very helpful these days. So I turned to other avenues.
That's quite some lengths to go to get back something you don't fully understand or even know if it's going to be useful outside of very, very specific situations.
Well, it's less a matter of it being very powerful or very useful, and it's more so the principle of it. It's something that I created. I bent every little piece of metal. I grew every little pearl in a tank for it. It's a matter of, pride.
Suppose that makes sense in some way. Very.
Some of these tools look very handy.
Well, again, you can all take a look around, and if you're interested in anything, just let me know. And, well, since you guys did help me with that job, and I did hear it was quite a ruckus, if I remember correctly. I read about it in the paper. Then, I'm willing to offer a discount for today.
It was an absolute rave. Finn says, walking over, having
At
like
night.
at night.
Yes, I plan on making that my debut cover.
Oh, is that why I saw them selling T-shirts around the corner?
They're stealing my brand? Ashley's next step is to go and demand royalties. You should not have told him that.
It's fine. But Clint is curious
Mhm.
about the next thing on the list, which is the gun. So he's gonna wander over to the glass case and press his nose to the glass.
You see the same thing Feyre did.
What is this?
I'm sorry. I didn't expect
Actually,
you
I
to
pressed my nose.
vocalize him pressing his nose up against something. The label should be a Dragon Ball blaster.
Does it shoot? Is it like a gun or is it like a bolt? Like a what's it called? A crossbow. Because they say bolt blaster. Does it shoot like crossbow bolts that are just dragon themed?
Well, the interesting thing about this weapon is that it doesn't require physical ammunition.
He blinks for a second and like thinks, well, then what does it shoot?
Well, it shoots lightning.
You can't hear it, but there's like lottery noises in his head. Like when you hit the jackpot on a lottery. How may I request a demonstration? Outside, not inside the shop. Feel free to say no, by the way. I don't want to take up more of your time. But I am right curious about the Dragon Ball Blaster.
I will say she's gonna vibe check you.
Okay.
What are, like, does Clint seem to have any nefarious intentions?
He does not want to steal it. He wants it. He very, very, very badly wants it because it sounds amazing. But he will not attempt to steal it. He wants to see it shoot lightning.
He's a 5-year-old right now.
Yes, he is
Okay.
kid in a candy shop. Like, you just told him that, like, lightning laser guns were real. And you're like, yeah, that's one actually right there in front of you. And he's like, I want to see. Show me the laser. I want to see laser gun. But you can say no. As a player, you can just tell him, like, I don't want to do that.
No, she'll just, like, look him up and down. She'll, like, look at the others of, like, are any of you guys gonna, like, put a veto to this?
And Feyre is like hopping back over the counter and just like looks in her direction and shrugs. You may not be wanting him to necessarily touch it. I can shoot it for him. Probably a little bit safer.
I will say that Feyre, while you were behind the counter, you saw that she has all her tools and stuff, like, in, like, neat little boxes. She also has, right under her register, a gun. She, she did just get robbed, like, a month ago, 2 months ago.
If I can pull out the shotgun.
Yeah. It's like a rifle, essentially, that she has below the fucking counter. It's like, I can do a demonstration if we can go into the probably right the little alleyway right next door, connecting to the street right here. I wouldn't really want to hurt anyone, but I'd be happy to show a demonstration. I can probably
Oh,
hit the trash can. It's garbage day, like, tomorrow. Or no, garbage day
I'll
was
get the door.
yesterday.
Runs over the door.
Okay.
If all you gotta say is yes or anything that sounds remotely like yes, and he's just going to assume, you don't have to explain nothing to him.
Okay, well, then, I guess we're going to see a demonstration. I'm actually very proud of this. It took me a couple of months to perfect. For the first few tries, it kind of shocked the it kind of shocked you, or well, me. I test everything myself, really, but it kind of shocked me the first few times. But thankfully, I was able with a couple weeks of testing and adjustments here and there with some of the wire alignments. It's pretty perfect, if I do say so myself. And she's saying this as she's like unlocking like the display. You see, like she lifts a glowing finger to the glass and kind of like essentially like password on like a phone that has like the pattern but like on the glass itself, and like lights up like a little hidden rune, and then that case unlocks and she takes out the weapon, and it's a pretty hefty weapon. It's two-handed, very reminiscent of a crossbow shape. Actually, I can give you guys a picture.
Have a picture.
Yeah, because I didn't
Yes.
make this item. I found it. I stole it. That is the item. And she will walk as she's talking about the testing and design process that she went through with this item when she was making it.
Fucking cool.
And she leads you all to the alley, like right next to the shop, like about 10 feet away from the front door. It goes into like little alley. It looks like there's like bags of like sand near the front, kind of like making like a makeshift wall.
You must be doing this often then.
She like rubs the back of her neck and she like smiles at Feyre like a little nervously. And she's like, the neighbors kind of agreed that this is kind of my alley now for testing.
Favorite smirks, looks down the alley and looks back at her. How many times you scared the shit out of them before they said that?
Well, I wouldn't really say scared them, but definitely at least 30 times.
Well, it must be actually pretty tough if they got through 30 times before they said it's just yours.
Well, in exchange, I kind of move their garbage I kind of do garbage day for them as well, so it works out. I get an alleyway to do all of my product testing, and they don't have to move their garbage can 30 feet down the alley because they might get covered in ink again. That wasn't a very... they were very upset about it. Which I understand. I was also covered in ink.
Ink don't come out of the hair very fast.
It really doesn't. Thankfully, did come out. I did have some like splotches in my hair for a couple weeks, but it did wash out. Anyway, I should probably show you that.
Oh, sorry.
What'd you say?
I just want to say this whole time she's talking and explaining like, yeah, I sometimes go out into the back alley and shoot because I help the neighbors out so that I can test equipment, and I built this myself and blah blah blah. Like, the more and more she talks about her, what's the word? Like,
Invention?
yes, her inventions and like her proclivities and whatever, like her hobbies and how she goes about her, like, making shit. The more and more she talks about herself, the more and more Clint is like absolutely enamored with this person.
Oh my god.
Like, hanging on her every word, watching her every step, just like, oh my god, this is amazing. I've never seen someone who I'm so excited to be around that hasn't tried to, like, at least once threaten me.
But no, Farrah, like, and Clint and whoever is listening, as she's talking about the ink, and this whole time she's walking down the alley. At the very like halfway down, she like pulls out like a box, and like this entire time she's speaking, she's like setting up like a little like mannequin of sorts. It has like a smiley face on it. And just she throws some like really cheap like chainmail on it, and she like sits at the end of the alley, and she like walks back to almost the entrance of it, right by the sandbags. And she's just talking about, like, yeah, the product testing for the Kraken mine kind of just covered this whole alley in ink, but I think it's really worth it. I think it's really going to be a blast once it's used. Pun intended. This part of the brand. But anyway, you guys ready?
Clint watching, like, on bated breath, nodding furiously. I'm so ready. Never been more ready for anything in my life.
Feyre will take 2 steps to the side, so she is being partially blocked by the wall. Not just the sandbags, but the actual wall. And then we'll look and find Mutt, and then push Mutt down to make sure Mutt is behind something.
And she is going to hoist up the Dragon Bolt blaster, and with a very, like, practiced, like, very much her know-how about firearms is showing as she takes a proper stance, and she shows the different mechanisms on it as she explains that, yeah, this does not require ammunition. The range is, like, about 150 feet. It's more effective against people wearing metal, and she counts down, takes you all to take cover, and she fires, and an arc of lightning erupts from the barrel of the blaster and then hits the target mannequin dead on center, and you see electricity crackling around the chainmail before it fizzles out. And essentially, Corey 1, mannequin 0.
Amazing. It's literally an arc shooter.
And she's going to just explain the item, and I can just copy and paste as she very much goes into, like, a very, like, nerd rant about the item. And I'm going to just edit the one with the picture and post the description.
So after she fires him, Ashley's gonna, like, go over to Clint, and he's gonna give him, like, a stealth elbow to, like, get his attention.
Like, jumps for a second, just, oh, and they'll turn.
Hey, why don't you give it a shot? He motions over to Corey.
Like, you motion to Corey, and he thinks for a second, like, I don't know if you meant asking him, or asking if he can shoot the Dragon Bolt blaster, but he certainly interprets it one way or another.
He was saying, like, he'll go on to say, like, you seem interested in her? Take your shot. Go for it.
How is Feyre in earshot?
I made sure to say it quietly. Like that's why I gave you, like, the stealth elbow.
There's a not as stealthy, like, obvious look from Clint to Feyre. And he looks back and he just goes, well, listen, I can't be seen courting more than one girl at the same time. Especially by one of the girls I want to try to court later.
Wait,
So,
you're trying to court? And now Ashley looks to Farah, and then, like, he wraps his arm over and, like, pulls him to the side of the alley. Like, wait, what?
well, yeah, haven't you seen her? And he, like, just, this is overtly, like, pointing and gesturing to Feyre.
My
So,
brother in Christ, do you know what you're getting yourself into?
leaning against the corner, very confused as she is watching this exchange.
Hushed whispering 15 feet away, obviously gesturing and talking about you.
Like, well, yeah, have you seen her? Tall, mysterious, dark eyes. She's got a weapon on her hip that she's threatened to use against me. That's like 4 or 5 of my favorite boxes ticked off.
My brother in Christ, if you want a dominatrix, they're like 30 an hour.
This is different. This is like...
Look,
He
I'm
just
saying,
pauses to think about it and then just gets lost in thought.
that's a bad idea.
That's why it's so appealing.
No. See, Farah, she's most likely to kill you than she is to kiss you. But her, I think she's your type. Shoot your shot. And Ashley pats him on the back.
He will finger guns at Ashley. What Clint will do, though, is he will take out his own gun and he will take one of the magic cartridges out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna walk up to Corey, and he will tap her on the shoulder and be like, "That is a mighty impressive piece of work right there. Question for you. I'm curious. Do you think you could make anything, or maybe make it work with something kind of like this?" And he'll hold out one of his cartridges.
And she's gonna look at the cartridge. She's gonna like squint, tilt her head at it, open hand, grabby hand.
He'll give it to her.
She'll like
He'll
take
give her
it.
the transmutation bolt, or bullet.
Transmutation bullet. She looks at it. She's like, "This is just a bullet," and then she sees like, "Wait a second," and like it catches her eye. She had it like in one hand, and she had like the blaster slung over like with one hand like against her shoulder. And as she like catches wind that this is not a normal bullet, she like her eyes widen and like she squints, and without even like looking at Clint, she just like pushes the blaster into his hands. As she like takes both hands to like look at this bullet really closely, as she like hunches in on it, and it's just so focused on like this bullet right here. And she like pulls out like a little like, it's like little tiny like magnifying glasses, but like the tiny little ones for looking at jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
She pulls like that out. She starts looking at the bullet, and she's like, wait a second. This isn't just a bullet. This has magic on it. Where did you get this?"
Oh, I made it myself. But well, Clint, I should say he is holding the blaster and then he's like staring at it. I can't find the gif, but there's a gif of like someone with sparkling eyes just staring at it, whispering like, "Wow," as he holds this magnificent piece of work, this fine craftsmanship item. And she like takes a second, hears her question, and shakes his head, just goes, "Oh, I made that myself. I'm a little bit of a tinkerer, not nearly as good as this." And he'll hold up the Dragon Bolt Blaster.
Well, that's partly due to the materials. It actually has the piece of a blue dragon horn at the very center of it. But regardless, this is actually very good work. The very, very tiny magic interlacing the bullet. What exactly is this? It's a student school of magic. Well, it's not enchantment. I can tell that much by the smell of it. What is... Can I keep this?
DM, what happens if I let her keep it?
You get friendship points.
Okay, because he will give up a transmutation bullet to let her keep it. And he'll like look for a second, and he just hesitates. He's like, "I've never really given one of those away before." But he
Ashley just
hand
gives
his
you
hip.
the finger guns back, like, "Do it, my brother."
And he will kind of scratch his chin, and he genuinely weighs the option and thinks and nods and just goes, "I suppose you could keep it. Just don't steal my secret recipe."
Well, I don't really intend on stealing it. I'd rather develop and create my own things. However, I am very curious about the process, and I would really like to investigate how you were able to do this. And, well, your question before on how this would actually be applicable to the blaster that I made, I don't really think it could be, but it actually might be if I can just... Hold on a second. There might be something.
Feyre will just like, still leaning against the corner, just kind of rap her knuckles on the wall a few times and like raise her other hand. And this like casual get attention gesture. Like, okay, nerds, focus over here.
She, like, jumps. She, like, turns to look at Feyre.
Same time, in tandem, like jumps and turns.
They're already perfect together.
See, I may not be the smartest one in the room or the most crafty of the bunch, but didn't you just say that all the magic from that gun just comes from a piece of a horn of a dragon, right?
Yes, it's actually embedded into the circular ball.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Couldn't you just make some bullets out of that and essentially have the same effect?
Bullets out of the dragon piece?
Well, that not necessarily that piece, but a piece similar.
A piece similar, in theory, yes, that would be available. That would be possible. However, dragon parts are very, very hard to come by. And, well, I was only able to get the one piece, and I figured rather than making a piece of ammunition that can be used once or a couple pieces that I'd only be able to make 10 of, I thought maybe a single reusable piece would be more beneficial and, more worth it in the long run.
That does bring up a little bit of question, if you don't mind. Since you like to tinker in these ways, and you seem to be struggling to find some interesting bits and bobs around to actually make any of your inventions, should we come across anything that's particularly unique and bring it to you, think we might be able to cut some sort of deal on making something interesting.
Oh, why, fair, you stole my idea. I was going to suggest the same thing.
That, well, it would depend on how much work I'm doing, but I would be more than happy to see what materials you guys could gather up and what I can make from it. It would also help if you had a sort of idea of what you would want. There is also something, if you don't, well, mind me asking.
Sounds like you're either about to propose a job or a favor.
A little bit of both.
Deal.
More of a job. You don't even know what the job is.
Well, why don't we go back in your shop and you tell us a little bit about what you want us to do, and then we can discuss if we're going to be able to do it for you.
And also the price of these bad boys. And he'll start rubbing the gun, and then he's also referring to the grappling hook launcher, but he has no way to gesture to it.
Right. Okay. Let's head back inside. And she's gonna she's tapping the bullet of from one hand to the other, and she puts it in a little vial, and then she tucks it into a pocket. And she leads the way back into the shop. She lets Clint hold on to the gun.
He is holding it and cradling it like you would hold a cat.
Did we pause for a second? Did we give Clint also the other magic gun?
Was there another magic gun?
There was a gun that we got from assassin dude, killer dude.
That was... I don't think you guys did. That was before Clint's time. I think
I don't have anything on my
custody of
sheet.
it. Yeah, I think Fair was the only gun haver, so it was given to her.
I have
Yeah,
lost.
that sounds right.
I remember her having it, but I just don't remember if she handed it over to Clint after he showed up. I don't have
I
I don't
any.
think you did.
I don't have anything on my sheet anymore for it. E. Okay.
I would love a new magic gun. Always accepting new recruits.
I will have to request you find that at a later time, Amy, so that I can place it accordingly.
I can find it actually very quickly. What was their name? Fuck. Okay, so someone killing half-elves. Here we go. I can screenshot it for you. Yeah, it's a
Please
poisonous
and thank
pistol.
you.
Yeah, I got it right here. Oop. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Poisonous pistol.
I was going to look for it in my physical module, and I'm like, you know what? That's gonna take too fucking long. I just look at the stat block. I know it's in there. Okay, but she will lead you all back. And she goes behind the counter and she roots and she pulls out like a blue scroll. And you see that it is essentially magic blueprint material that she rolls out on the desk on the countertop. And as she rolls it out, she pauses for a second. She looks at Clint. It's like, I should probably take that back.
He will look at it with an exaggerated sad look, and he will hand it away and just say, "Parting is such sweet sorrow."
Well, on the bright side, it is for sale. So
He
She,
will
like,
immediately chip her up and be like, "How much, by the way?"
Oh, that. Uh, where are the prices? Wait, shit, I never wrote down the price. Fuck.
What's that? It's free? There's no price
Um,
tag on it. It must be free.
Oh, we're
No.
doing boomer rules.
No.
This 20% off tag was on the spot where it was. I don't know what I'm supposed to think, except if it's not 20% off. So I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
She like points and she's like, "That is 500 gold."
500 gold. Okay.
And what about
I've-
the grappling hook? Because he did ask about that too.
Grappling hook is 250.
God damn.
These are only. There's only
But
one.
we have a discount going on today.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that with the discount?
That is not with the discount.
Oh.
What is our discount?
You guys are getting 25% off.
Hey.
Oh shit, that's a big discount. That's good shit.
You know what? She likes you guys. So with the discount, that is
That's 50 off, so that would be
not 50 off. Taking 25% off of 500 makes it 375. And then, whoops. I was going to round that up to 63. Making the grappling hook 187. We're going to round that down to 185 because I like round numbers.
5 is good.
I like fives.
So 185 and 375.
Yep.
Hey, Bard, you should check out the treble clef earrings, because they might be magic. They might also just be earrings.
I think that is one of the ones we actually went over the like abilities for last time, and it was stuff
but I
that
don't remember because I was
I think it was
But
stuff that
you're-
more or less you already had as a bard.
Yeah.
right. Right, it just gave me extra like performance shit, I believe.
Yeah, it basically add half your proficiency bonus to ability check to play an instrument you aren't proficient in,
Right, yeah.
and then the flavorful you can magically discern and recreate the note of any sound you hear.
Yeah, I basically have that, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
Especially because you have
But-
the fucking magic lute or whatever that does
Yeah.
any sound you want.
Yeah.
Be useful if you didn't have that.
It would be. And it might also be good if one of you wanted to like play as my assistant for like one disguise session.
Or you're a backup, like your drummer.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I don't have any gold marked on my personal character sheet because I think I put it all in the group loot.
Mm-hmm. We have 900 something.
Oh, okay.
I do not mind you
Well-
using the group fund for Dragon Gun and Hookshot.
I don't want to buy things just for me. It's just it's a matter of if anyone else finds any use in them.
Well, the Grappling Hook's going to be useful regardless of who has it.
Yeah, we have 984 total in the group right now.
And all together, that would be 375 and 185 is 560. So we'd have like 420 left. Nice.
Yeah.
424 gold.
I mean, I don't have any issues with it at the moment because we're not needing a whole bunch of stuff yet, and we're also rogues. So if we can't find we don't have what we need, we're just gonna fucking steal it.
Yeah. Heist. This is Dragon Heist. I'm putting more heist into it. 'Cause
Amazing.
It's not really a heist module, unfortunately. I'm making it one though.
Which is weird.
Heist.
Like false advertising, honestly.
It really is. But I'm making it a heist. I'm making it a lot of heists.
Hell
Good.
yeah. Get that.
And
I mean,
both
if
of
you
them,
is-
like the grappling hook, any of us could use it. And the gun, like, if absolutely needed, because Clint is still probably going to want to use his magic bullets a fair amount of the time. Feyre can also be handed off with that because she does have proficiency in firearms.
Here, let me
The
show
gun
you
will
guys
have
the
multiple
grappling
arms.
hook mechanics. Because she would also... Corey would also go into way too much detail about it. So here.
Mounted. Roll a d20. 10 or higher. It latches itself to the point.
I'm probably going to take away that 50% chance. And I will say that the 50% chance is if you try to go over 40 feet
Oh. Okay.
to be a little nicer. Because, like, you're spending the gold. I don't want it to be like a coin flip on if it works or not, you know?
Fair.
You know?
Yeah.
I'll say you don't
super
have to
down with
roll
that.
if you're within 40 feet. But if you go past 40 feet, then you will have to... It's going to be a coin flip.
Yeah. I'm fine with Clint buying both, though. As soon as he buys and starts reaching for the fucking grappling hook, Feyre will, like, catch his arm and wait until he looks at her. Don't be shooting that in the fucking inn. We're just getting it paid off and just getting it fixed. You break anything in it, you'll fix it yourself.
Clint, just with a little tinge of pink to his cheeks, will nod and be like, "Yes, ma'am." And
Oh
he
my
will
God.
relinquish the grappling hook to her, unless she lets go of his arm.
Yeah, she lets go as soon as he's like, yes. She was just making it very clear. You don't fire and break shit in our home. Do that outside.
Our home?
You
Oh my
break
God,
other
God, this-
people's things, not ours.
Yep.
So, do you guys buy the items?
Yes
I
to the
think,
grappling
yeah.
hook, and if you are all also okay with it, then yes to the lightning gun, because that is fucking radical.
I will adjust our gold.
Okie doke. You,
Thank you.
trust you all to do
Steve.
your own bookkeeping.
Trust Z to do the bookkeeping.
I for one trust our Z overlords.
Who's the one like doing the paying, like buying? I'm assuming Clint.
Clint, unless he doesn't have any money in his pocket, unless we're hand waving it, but he would like go to pay and then imagine he wouldn't find any gold right away and just goes,
Because
so,
Ashley's on
business
Team
partners?
Wing. Yeah, because
Wingman?
Ashley's on Team Wingman right now, he's going to invisible mage hand the money into his pocket.
It's like tapping. Maybe it's in my other pocket. Oh shit! When the fuck did this get here?
Because for some
Incredible.
reason I
It
just
was in my
decided
first
Ashley's a
pocket the
wingman
whole
today.
time.
Oh boy. Yeah. Clint, roll me perception.
We can hope.
Nope.
Yikes.
You know what he sees?
What?
The crystal clear, whatever color her eyes happen to be. He doesn't actually see her eye color. He can't remember it.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. You know what? I like to retcon that and say, you know what? Fuck it. I want you to know this.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Okay. He probably gets distracted by her eye color. He's probably wondering, wait, what color is that?
Trying to gaze longingly into her eyes, but her ADHD ass inventor ass fucking movement makes it really fucking difficult to stare into her face. Keeps looking in different directions.
Yeah. I'm gonna DM you something.
Yes.
By the by, I think it's gold.
Oh shit.
And she is going to like she's rambling about like, yeah, she has like, if it ever breaks, like bring it back in. She will try her best to repair it. You just have to give her more supplies. You just have to foot the like expense of the supplies, but she will repair it for free of labor charge. She's going on and on about that. And as she like packages it up, she puts it in like a fancy little like gift box, and she like wraps it with like a purple ribbon. Both of them go into like a la Christmas time at any clothing shop, but nicer quality boxes, for weapons. And she
Amazing.
like puts them on the counter. They each have like, each ribbon comes with like a little like card of her like her shop's name that she like slides under the ribbon, and she like slides it over, and then she says, right, now that that's taken care of, I do have one other thing, favorite job. I would say more if it's a job than a favor, that I'd like to ask you all to do.
Yeah, Feyre, as the transaction was going on, will kind of lean over and examine whatever the fuck it was that she pulled out.
Yeah. It is essentially sort of doodles. All of them are of arrows. And essentially just like taking up, hold on one second. A 17-inch by 12-inch area of space.
Sorry, I just heard the click of the measuring tape.
Did I just measure it on my desk calendar? Maybe. You don't know. You can't prove shit.
Only you, Amy. Only you.
What do you mean? I have an exact idea of what size this paper is. It's right in front of me. How do I describe it? I have a measuring tape on my fucking nightstand, okay? Like, do you guys not have measuring tapes like within arm's reach at all times?
No.
Well, that's your mistake. It makes life better. Do it. It makes things much more exact when you're talking to people.
I pray I never have to be in a situation where I have to be that exact.
Yeah, if I ever have
I
to
have
be
found
that
that-
exact, somebody's gonna die.
Well, I'm not saying, okay, look, I'm not going up. I'm being like, it is approximately 16.5 like 9 inches. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, yeah, it's around like 17, 18 inches, like a foot and a half. Foot and a half by 1 foot. Just guesstimation, not guesstimations, estimations. Because it's not a guess. I have the number. Anyway, that derailed me so hard. Sorry. I have to defend my right to use a tape measure in day-to-day conversations. Anyway, so it's essentially a sort of what could only be described as a magic blueprint of sorts. And her like fingertips kind of glow as she puts her finger to it, and you essentially see her little drawings that she's made of different arrow designs like come to life, essentially not rising off of the page, but essentially like twisting and rotating on the page. Imagine like 2D animation. That's essentially what's happening as she like pours magic into the blueprint. And
Ooh.
she goes on to talk about well, there is something that I would like to get my hands on.
Name it.
Well, I don't really know its name. All I've really heard are that this time of year, mid-spring-ish, that there are rumors of an archer that appears for a week or two. And, well, the rumors are that their arrows vanish. And well, people see the arrows flying, but they don't really see where they land or, well, like who they hit. There's no real evidence of them. And, well, I have reason to believe that those arrows are magic. And, well, I would like to get my hands on one to see how it works.
Have people only been seeing the arrows flying through the air, not who's shooting them?
Well, they don't really see them all that much. And it's not like people. The weird thing is that there are no deaths or like real attacks mentioned. It's just flying arrows.
And are we sure there's not just some sort of illusion that's just going around town? Somebody fucking with people?
Well, there's one account from I think last year where someone like remembers seeing someone get hit with the arrow and it did impact them, but that they had seemed fine afterwards. And more than fine actually. And but the person that I spoke with really did see an arrow collide with them. It was a red arrow specifically, and it saw it like plant into them, and the person reeled from the impact, but then the arrow was gone, and the person was fine, as if nothing had hurt them at all. They barely even remember the impact. And well, there's no real harm happening, but I do want to know what's happening out of my own curiosity and also what those arrows are and how they work. Because, well, if I could find what they are and how they work, then I can maybe use the same things to make more things. Maybe I
So
can make
you
more arrows, or maybe I can apply that to different pieces of weaponry, or maybe not weaponry, but just items and tools.
Making some disappearing daggers would actually be rather useful in some situations, I think.
Exactly. Or maybe even mining equipment, or anything really along those lines where it's something that can disappear after it's used could actually make cleanup and in different jobs much easier. You wouldn't have to go and collect things afterwards. It would streamline the whole process depending on what industry it's used in. But yes, daggers and other arrows and ammunitions would also be applicable reason.
So you want some disappearing arrows that seem to be only relegated to a specific time. Fair enough. We'll see what we can do. Right, turning to the other two.
My schedule's clear until the tavern opening. You can lend a hand.
Wait, there's a tavern opening?
Yes, we run the Troll Skull Manor. It's opening up this Friday, actually.
Oh, you're the ones opening the tap. Oh, that is, well, congratulations. I have heard a lot of rumors about that place, and well, it's good to see it back up and running, or well, soon to be up and running.
Yeah, feel free to come by and check out the grand opening.
You're more than welcome anytime.
I will definitely do that. And actually, well, do you all have decorations for the grand opening?
Oh no.
Please tell me you're not about to say
Yes, 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 yes.
If you are donating your party in a can,
Well, I figured it'd be a good, opening present. Considering it's the first time that place is being reopened in, well, I think over a century?
Something along those lines, yeah.
Not to mention, I've heard rumors that the place is also haunted, but I guess it's not. So, well, cause for a celebration of having a business. And she's gonna, like, reach over, she's going to hop over the counter and go over and just like goes like party can. Ah, here it is. She's going to toss it up in the air, catch it, and she freezes.
I was about to say.
Feyre just slowly holds her hand out and just like does the like come here gesture with like all four fingers. Like, yeah just give it to me.
She's going to just level it and just slowly, very carefully. You know when you have like a cup of soda that's like, or water that's like filled all the way to the brim? But that's how she carries the can. And just very carefully places it in Feyre's hand.
Feyre just like takes it and like closed her eyes as she like opened her hand and gestured, She just nods, and you see her hold it and like slowly tuck it away, and then she shakes her head. She turns back towards the counter. Like, hi, we have nearly been killed by this thing twice by 2 different people.
I don't think we've been killed by it. We would have just had to wear a party hat or something.
Grievously endangered.
We
of
don't
being
know how
modified.
forceful that pop was gonna be.
True.
No, it's. She would have explained the only danger is that her shop would be decorated when she doesn't want it to be. She's like, I really don't want to have to take down decorations. But it's not professional. And she's going to just like walk behind the counter. And she like just rubs the back of her neck in like a little bit of embarrassment. And she's like kind of refuses to make eye contact for a bit until she's behind the counter. And she can like cough into her hand and clear her throat. And she's
Well,
like,
thank you for the donation, all the same.
right, I should probably get on to how this is a job and not a favor because, well, you guys are doing work and I want to make sure that you are well rewarded for it. And, well, it's 300 gold to take the job seriously. And another 300 when you retrieve at least 1 arrow for me to study.
That's more than fair enough, I suppose. Although, you do realize that we can't necessarily guarantee we're going to be able to bring nothing back to you if these are indeed disappearing, magical, invisible, whatever the fuck arrows. We'll try our best, but...
Yeah, I'm aware it's going to be pretty difficult. That's why I'm paying you up front rather than just having you go on a possible goose chase and do all that work for nothing. Or, well, half up front and then the other half if you do get an arrow. You know, half for the effort and then the other half for the product.
Favorite nods slightly. Fair enough. Just wanted to make sure that we were all clear on the possible terms and limitations that we'll be going through.
Trust me, I have tried to get these arrows myself last year. Yeah, there is a cart. There's a stall at the festival that does not like me. So
Festival.
Clint immediately just like, what? Who wouldn't like you?
What festival are we talking about? That is like an above table thing, because I imagine in character we would all know if there's a festival.
Corey
Those are
has
good
said that
questions.
it's around this time of year, mid spring.
Mm.
And as she mentions festival, you all think back festival. Right. Starting tomorrow is the start of the week-long festival. Promptly named the Season of Love.
Mm-hmm.
Eh.
We're going after Cupid's
Oh, no.
arrows.
Yep. That do be.
Essentially, each day celebrates a different type of love.
Duh.
And starting tomorrow.
So the entire reason you couldn't be getting any of these yourself is because there's a single stall that don't like you at this festival.
Well, it's more so while I was trying to find these arrows, I saw them flying at one point and I tried to run and go get it, and then I tripped and accidentally tipped over a shelf in a stall, which broke a few things. But I was able to repair it and fix it, so they, no harm, no foul. However, they do not like me. So I would say to be careful and watch where you are running and to not just follow the arrows blindly. It did not end well. I ended up not finding where the arrow went.
Feyre just looks towards the others and looks at one of the boxes that Clint is holding and just kind of like taps his the grappling hook box. Well, I think we might have figured out how to avoid that if we absolutely need to, but thank you for the warning.
At the reminder of the festival, Ashley's face kind of pales a little bit. Oh no.
Are you sick? Are you gonna be sick? I can get you a bag.
No.
Please don't sit on my floor.
No, I'm not
It's gonna
sick.
make me sick, and
No, I'm not sick. Breathe.
Okay,
But I just realized something's gonna happen that is the worst timing in the world.
You just get this eyebrow raise.
eyebrow raise as well of like the fuck.
Clint looks at the other two and looks at Ashley, and then looks at the other two, and then looks back to Ashley and raises one eyebrow.
He kind of looks to the side. He's like, "Damn it! Ashley just takes a deep breath. I was going to do something, and now the timing of the festival means I'm going to make it very, very bad for somebody."
Oh
Don't
boy.
worry, I'll make something worse by comparison, and you'll look great.
The
I'm counting on you.
goes from eyebrow raise to like furrowed brows immediately. It's like looks like
I'm
Clint.
counting on you, Clint. Please make a
Two-finger
fool of
salute.
yourself.
You have
Shakes,
my word.
shakes her head and looks back to Corey.
She like looks at them and she looks at Feyre. Should I have sold you guys the weapon? Should I have sold them the weapon? I'm having some
It's
thoughts.
too late.
Second thoughts.
We'll see you later. And he starts marching towards the door with the gun held in his arms like a small child.
It is in like a light lavender box with like a deep purple ribbon.
He's holding the box, like cradling it in his arms.
Feyre just watches him go and doesn't move. Probably not, but it's a little bit too late now because you're going to have to pry that out of his cold dead fingers. But anyway, getting back around to this job that you're hiring us for. Is there any particular places you think we should start looking, or any places that it's pretty common for these arrows to show up? Because this is a mighty big city, and we're just looking for like a handful of arrows that disappear.
Well, the arrows are pretty common. They are hard to spot, but essentially during or around this festival, they're pretty commonplace. They're typically held in the festival center. That's when you can really like spot them. No one can ever really see where they come from though, so good luck to you on that end. But I would say if you stick near the more popular areas of the festival on each day, you'll be able to spot them. Well, most likely. That is my, hypothesis and how I found most of them last year. But that is
You
definitely
found some.
Well, not found some, how I spotted some. I think I misspoke. I did not find any. I wish I did, though.
Okay. I'll let you off the hook this time.
Well, I guess there's a hint that we can be using, but we'll try. We'll try. Are these the best approximation you have of what these arrows look like? Or she just kind of like taps the paper.
Pretty much yes, though they are red and not blue. That's just the paper, but I think you could probably assume that. This one right here, and she like circles it with her finger. And it like lights up. This one here is the best I could make of it. Again, I kind of only saw it for about a fraction of a second a year ago, but this is the best I could remember.
And Pharaoh will take a moment to like very closely study these images on the paper, and then kind of nod.
Here's the thing that I don't really understand.
Go
All
on.
of these different arrow designs is, well, it's either that there are different types of arrows, or I am not remembering correctly what I saw, but pretty much every arrow that I drew here is a design that I saw. So it might be all of these, it might be none of these, and I might be wrong, or it might be different types. I'm not really sure, but you can take this if you would like. to compare and contrast and maybe see which one is the true one, if there is a true one. I have other copies of the different arrow designs that I remember, so you can take this one. It is fine.
Feyre will look at her and like make sure that she is like being honest, and then we'll just nod and slowly start rolling up the paper.
Right, and she's going to go under the register, and then pop back out with like a little sack of gold, 300 gold that she puts and slides over.
Just add that back on top of this.
Mm-hmm.
Just about made back what we just bought. Well, we'll be talking to you in the next couple of days as soon as we see if we can find any of these things.
Well, good luck, and again, please don't run into any stalls. They are not very nice when you ruin their business.
I don't imagine
we
there
would
will be.
love if you could make some more infiltration type tools for us, being thieves and all. You'll have a lot. Well, you'll have a repeat business if you can come up with some cool things like the grappling hook over there.
I can write that down, and I can try to make things along those lines, more mobility-focused items.
Mobility, breaking and entering, deception, anything to help the the ones.
Clint shouts from the door, having only poked his head in, just going, "And more guns! Always could use more of those. Sorry, you
You
all
don't
taking
need
so
more
long,
guns.
so... That's not true. I only have 2 guns.
You only have 2 hands.
He blinks for a second, just goes, "You're right, but I should have more guns than hands."
Maybe when you're older. Let's go.
Feyre will graciously take the gold and pocket it. And just like watching these others file out, shaking her head, looks back to Corey and just gives a little nod. We'll be seeing you around.
Hopefully, I will
But
definitely check out the tavern when it opens.
before Farah manages to exit the door, Ashley's already at the door, and he looks to Clint like, Farah, really? Like restarting this conversation while she's out of earshot.
He looks at Ashley and shrugs with a smile on his face, just goes, "Can't help it. I have a type." And whoop, right outside the door.
Farah, as she is leaving, just kind of like raises a hand, just casually. It's like, "See you around, cousin."
But wait,
What?
what?
She just waves. She's pulled out the bullet, and she's like, "Yeah, see ya." And she is studying this.
You motherfuckers! You plotted this.
She's a Levistus tiefling.
I don't know what that means.
It's the same type of tiefling, which means they come from the same demon.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a communal, like, okay, well, we must be cousins in some respect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair. Okay, I understand now. I thought you were just like, yeah, I am exactly this person's cousin.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Corey understands what Fair is at. She's like, yeah, see you.
All tieflings that have like a similar like appearance are from the same lineage usually.
Yeah.
Just about broke my fucking neck. You're on me, Mum.
I was plotting to say see you later, cousin, and freak you guys out for a second though.
Oh boy. Okay. Where are you all headed?
we, I guess, could head back to the tavern.
Oh.
What's on our docket now? I don't know what else we have to do.
Nothing specific as far as I am aware, other than continue to prepare Troll Skull in whatever way we can, and then wait for the festivals to start to go arrow hunting.
Ashley needs to collect his item from the jewelers. And then do something off screen.
Oh no. I'm down for that.
Off screen. Off screen.
Yeah. I will say we could check in. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I was like, I know I'm forgetting something. Clint, after after a good bit of walking, will remember just like, oh, I was gonna mention this, and he'll reach into his pocket and pull out a pin,
What?
like a little embossed pin, and a note. And the note says, if you ever want to do some good or something. Wait, hold on. What is the exact wording? If you ever want to make a difference. There it is. If you ever want to make a difference. And it's from Mert. But he will hold up this pin and this little note, and he'll say, I should have mentioned this earlier, but after we got back from the opera, I got this little note slipped to me from Mert. And it's worth noting. And he'll hold the pin up between his like thumb and forefinger and say, Corey was wearing one of these pins.
Oh. So she works with Mert. And you want to do a job for him to get in her good graces.
That would be the plan. Very confident in his answer.
And Feyre just like slowly takes a breath and then shakes her head slightly. I don't think I'm going to be doing too many jobs, at least not as a group for him, because he seemed pretty adamant about the fact that a couple
Yeah.
of us were not going to be invited.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like the type we'd want to do business with.
I mean, if you want to go just get a job on your own, then more power to you. I don't think he's going to be particularly thrilled to see either of us, and she just kind of like gestures toward Ashley.
Yeah, she just kind of shrugs. Yeah, probably.
He rubs his chin for a second, just goes, I have an idea. What if I go get a job for myself, and then just bring you two along? It's kind of like cheating.
Feyre just snorts and smirks as like waves a hand vaguely towards Clint. Well, what you do on your own time is all on you. You want to go get a job, then you go get a job. Just, don't be surprised if he seems a little less than thrilled should he end up catching us along with you.
Trust me, I'm not surprised by a lot of things. And he'll just leave it at that. And, like, flick the pin up with his thumb and catch it in the air.
Fair's fair.
He is 100% planning on trying to go get a job, and then just telling you two about it and asking you for help. He's willing to, like, split the rewards with whatever he's getting for you, assuming that it'll be even easier. But he'll go get a job and build rapport with Mert so that he can get in good with Corey and build up the crew's renown without you guys having to actually interact with Mert at all.
That's how we truly become the powerhouse of the city. Each one of us take a different fucking guild.
That's
mean,
actually not a bad idea.
It actually is in the rulebooks that different group members can join different factions. Like the whole party does not have to join the same faction. It would just make things simple.
Hell yeah.
Up until the time comes where all of the different factions have a mission that is trying to one up the other, and all of the different party members get recruited
that
for
is-
that
why-
thing. It's like,
that is a thing.
That's why we very much are open about what we're doing. Like we're all doing this just for the money and the power, but we're not actually like loyal to them. It sounds like we're gonna go for.
Clint has his moral standards on certain things. But yeah, he's doing it right now because he enjoys doing the work. He just has
And
fun
also
doing it. He
waifu.
doesn't have any
And also waifu.
and also hitting on Corey.
How many fucking
well, not
girls is
hitting
he
on
gonna
Corey.
hit on? Yeah, he's
every
not,
single
like-
one of them.
Yeah, every single one
All
of them. However, the one he's after is
Yeah.
Farah, apparently.
You have to play the long con. You can't give like he can give a lot up front to people who aren't in it for the long con because that's different.
Mhm.
But you got to play your cards close to the chest. You see.
Yeah, here it says right in the book. The characters need not all join the same faction, and some might not want to join the faction at all. And then blah blah blah. Other characters who aren't faction members can assist in the mission's completion.
I
Okay.
thought you were going to say it says right here, play cards close to chest.
I should have actually.
I mean,
Character who belongs. To other
Thus far,
nations.
Feyre is more than happy with Davril. Or Davil or whatever.
Mhm.
Dabble.
Just fucking go ahead and change his name to Davril because we keep saying Davril.
I've
no.
been good. I've been very good about Davil now because I've written it down.
Mhm.
I'm a good noodle. Very rarely is Joe the good noodle, but damn it, I Davil, not Davril.
Joe
He
is
is
only
not
the good
Davril.
noodle if Joe has to be the note taker.
And you see why I know Holy Blood and all the NPCs so well? Because when you write it down, you remember.
True, fucking true. It's like fucking, it's like cheating almost. If only I'd known about this strategy while I was in school.
I know, right? Okay. This is a surprise to me. I would have liked to be fair. I'm pretty sure you're only doing this because Corey has the same pin.
Correct. But that's not like he's only going to like put the idea in Mert's head. If Mert doesn't have work right away, then we can work on the festival stuff.
I mean, I have the book, so
Word.
it's fine if you want to go seek out Mert.
Low key, I want. So Joe above table knows that this is probably some type of Cupid's arrow situation, like y'all had mentioned, and I want to get a Cupid's arrow because I think it would be a funny item to have.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We get the entire
So I am
quiver and we
more
only give
biased
one
towards that.
singular arrow to Corey.
Oh no!
We have the rest of the quiver for ourselves.
Imagine if the characters were shipper trash.
I mean,
And
they could
they-
be.
They could be. What if we shipped Devil and Mutt? That would be
Ew. No.
No,
forbidden romance.
Davil has standards.
Yeah, sounds like Ashley and Clint have things to go do. If they want to roleplay that out.
Well, we were gonna hand wave Ashley's because it was gonna be off screen, I assume.
So the reason Ashley feels bad is he made that pendant as a breakup gift for Rosette,
Oh boy.
and now Ashley finds out it's the Festival of Love. So he went to like, oh no, I'm a dick.
Oh no. Every kiss begins with K. Actually, every heartbreak.
Every breakup has a K.
So that happens off screen because I do not want to roleplay that out.
Also, Iris is not here.
And also, Iris is not here.
That's the more important part. That happens off screen. I will say that, Ashley and Rosette have that scene, and Rosette, after this is like in the future, depending on where we're going next, but the day after that scene takes place, Rosette has informed all of you that she is going to take more part in her family's business, and that she is going to be overseeing a shipment to another planet.
She's going to start jamming.
Yep.
Fucking
She
give us
is-
your
out.
share in the tavern then, bitch.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
She obviously it's to be a good daughter and a good noble, and to take more part in her family's business and to learn the ropes more closely. That is the only reason, of course. It has nothing to do with Ashley.
Ugh.
You better
I mean,
have
if she
signed
needs some
over her
space,
share.
she needs some space.
But
Wow.
Shut up, it was funny.
it
Oh.
was. That's why I laughed.
Hey, that's the
Wait.
way for Clint to actually have a share in the tavern.
She gives Clint her share.
Specifically Clint, because she doesn't want Ashley to have it.
Yeah.
That's fair. No, I'm about it.
Just like
That makes sense.
1/3 share for Clint, or 1/4 share for Clint, and just writes it on a note and just hands it to Clint. He's like, "Wow, for me," just fucking immediately leaves.
Yeah, there's Iris. Clint
Yep.
has Rosette's share. Yeah. As this guy flirted with me once. I know how to get back at Ashley.
And Ashley will not say a word about this ever.
Somebody else leaves. They're signing over their share to Feyre because we're playing fucking hot potatoes with these shares of this tavern.
Well, it's what we've been playing off to give it to the new character.
Signed Rosette. Clint.
Nice
On a
share.
napkin.
Nice wrote hers over to Mutt. Fucking Rose signed it over to Ashley. Leto signed it over to Rosette and then over to Clint. Feyre's taking all of them now.
Meanwhile, 13 has his share, and he's just never going to let it go. He just ran off into the night. He's gonna show up later at the 11th hour and be like, "What's up, motherfuckers? I'm back to claim what's mine."
Please have 13 show up in the BBEG of this module. And it's
Forget Xanathar.
Joe gets to play 2 characters and it's just a leveled up, souped up
And they're all-
13 and Clint.
And they're all arguing with each other.
Oh my god. Funny enough, Joe, you know how I said I wanted to talk to you?
Yes,
I was
Oh,
about
no.
to
13.
with 13. Yeah, it was going
I
to be
know.
about 13.
I know. I wanted to talk before session because I was so curious as to what it would be, but now we need to change the conversation because now it has.
Let's refocus. Let's
Yeah,
refocus for now.
refocus. Regroup. All right.
So we're, I will submit that we do, arrow hunting. We can just time skip to arrow hunting unless there's something else we need to do that,
How many days ahead is this?
Starts tomorrow.
This is up to you. So the
Oh, yeah,
festival starts
I'm down.
tomorrow. I will say that it's Tuesday? So it starts on Wednesday. And it goes until next Wednesday. Your tavern opens in 2 days. I will say that you guys see a newspaper adoption event. taking
Dogs.
place.
We're getting the dogs. We're getting the dogs.
We're getting dogs. Let's go.
I just remembered
all.
the dog. Halt the cool quest.
Dogs.
We must acquire dogs.
You must acquire dogs.
I love dogs. This is great. I didn't know y'all had dogs.
Well, we don't have
I
dogs
think-
yet, but we're about to get some, and these are the dogs that
Yeah.
we remember. They are also trained guard dogs, so that'll also be good for the tavern.
And we could market it as a dog tavern. Come for the drinks, play with the dogs.
Dog cafe.
Just as long as
Okay.
nobody's allowed to throw nothing in the tavern.
Well, we have a space outside the tavern. We can make that like a play area.
I will say that you guys have a giant backyard.
we own the courtyard area in the center of the block.
Mm-hmm. It's like off screen. There is a
Perfect.
we will say that right here in this area, you own it, and it's a lot bigger than this.
Nice.
It's a lot more spacious. It's like the space of like all of this, essentially. You guys have this as a backyard. Why? Because I say so.
Because dog.
Because dog.
Mhm. Yeah. Draw shape. Green. I'm just gonna freehand. Green. Scribble, 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 scribble. That's your backyard.
Hell yeah.
And, Freddie Doyle can really put in a high quality fence, keep even the, toughest, tallest dogs that can jump 10 feet into the air out. Just gotta let him know. He'll make sure it's up to OSHA standard.
Mutt disapproves.
Alright, so what are you guys up to?
Dogs.
Adoption event.
Oh, you guys are going to. Okay.
Dogs.
Okay.
Dogs.
Okay. You guys go to. Let's say that the adoption event is. Let me drag y'all onto the big city map. It's taking place right here, smack in the middle. There's like a big park area.
Oh.
Or it's like in the big like market area, but there is it's a big wide open space. And it is a adoption event going on. It's like right before the festival kicks in, and they are taking full advantage off of the holiday. They've got like some of the dogs in like pink heart-shaped bow ties. They've got like some like cats and like pink cat carriers. They've got like paw like paw heart decorations going on. They're like
Ashley approaches. Yes, hello there. We are interested
there.
in adopting a couple puppies.
You approach someone with like a clipboard. It's a very, very tired. They're sipping a like mug of like you can very smell just coffee, scent of coffee all around them as you step into their general vicinity. As they let out like a big yawn, and they're like, "I wanted guppies, guppies. Oh wait, no puppies.
Dogs.
Yeah,
Dogs. Yes.
right. Sorry, I stayed up all night putting all the decorations up. But yeah, this way we have like so many puppies. Yeah.
How many do you have?
Well, we have an entire event dedicated to cats and dogs and other miscellaneous animals that can be adoptable as part of our program. You're looking for a specific age group, a specific type of dog. I can lead you around to the different areas. If you want actual puppies, that's over there towards close, like more on the eastern end of the market. If you want older dogs, we have them going like east to west.
We heard that you guys had some recently acquired guard dogs that we were interested in, and a couple puppies too.
Right, from the Colin Estate. Right, we actually
Yeah.
got those in last night. They're actually over here on the southern end. If you guys can follow me, we can look into them and you can pick out whichever one you would like to join your family and find their forever home.
I think we
Perfect.
actually wanted to adopt all of them.
No. You missed out the comedy. I was gonna be like, I'm gonna take this one and this one and this one and this one.
We didn't get to the punchline yet.
We didn't get to it yet.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I was like once he showed us, Ashley's gonna be like, okay, perfect. I would like that one, and he points to the guard dogs, and I'd like that one too. And that one,
You're
and
like
that one,
marking off on a
and that
checkboard, and they're
one.
like, "Wait, don't you want to sit down and meet with every single one first?"
I get the feeling that we're gonna get along just fine. So we'll take 5 of these guard dogs, and we need some puppies too. Yeah, he looks at everybody.
Quint is like excitedly like, oh, so many dogs. I love all these dogs.
Wait, yeah, we'll take a couple of puppies too. That one looks cute. Oh, ooh, that's an adorable corgi. Want it?
Clint picks up one that is a bulldog, particularly.
We'll take that
rangy.
one too.
Look at him. You can't even see his eyes.
I will have you know that there is an adoption fee for each dog, and that
That's
we will
fine.
have to be doing a home check for each one to ensure that they're going to a proper home that can take care of them.
That's fine. We're actually opening up a tavern, and we're going to deem it to be a dog tavern, where the dogs can rest and play with the customers.
That sounds like a great idea. Do you guys serve coffee?
Yes.
That sounds like a great idea. But we still have to go over
That's
the
fine.
fee and the paperwork for each individual. How many dogs are you looking for here today?
How many dogs do we want to go? Because I'm thinking like 12.
I am capping it at the guard dogs you guys encountered. You get no more fucking dogs.
We will take all of the guard dogs.
Okay. Well, I wanted some puppies too. I wanted some small puppies.
Can we
Puppy
have
number
all
one.
of the
Negotiate
dogs
with the
and
DM.
Can I at least have one small corgi puppy?
You bitch. You know my weakness.
Piper wants a corgi, and apparently
corgi.
Joe wants a bulldog.
Okay,
rank
you want
you.
a bulldog? You know what? Okay, you know what? You guys can get the guard dogs and 2 puppies, one for each of you. However,
Okay.
you must find me art/image of the puppy, and you must name and take care of your respective puppy. I'm lumping all of the guard dogs in. They will be taken care of by whatever NPCs that you hire and or lift and or the group collectively off screen, but you guys must take care of your respective pets.
I can arrange that.
Hey Piper, do you want to take care of my pet?
No.
Oh,
You wanted the pet.
I don't want to be
You don't have to-
responsible.
You don't have to narrate like every scene what Clint is doing, but like at the tavern, whenever you guys are resting, you can just say that like, yeah, he's feeding his dog or he's playing with the dog. It's not like a full commitment. It's just like your pet has to exist whenever you guys are resting at home.
Gotcha. Fair
It
enough.
does not have to be like Siveth and Isul. It can be more like Olivia and Silverus, where whenever she is at home, she pets and takes care of the cat. But otherwise, it is at home, presumably napping.
Okay. Okay, this is fine with me.
Good compromise?
That's a compromise.
And again, I demand a picture and name. That is the tax.
I got the picture. I don't have the name yet.
Okay.
But I got picture.
Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna name him Baron.
Aw.
Baron the corgi.
I am taking this one. This is perfect.
Oh my gosh, yes!
His nice Winslow.
Winslow!
Winslow. Oh, that's such a good name for that picture.
Yeah!
I know.
Imagine Farah and Mutt are the ones like look finding all of the guard dogs. Who it doesn't take long. Once you guys find one, just slowly the rest of them will find you via Mutt scent.
They all come looking for
And-
friend.
Yeah.
Why is
And
friend human? Why is friend not wolf?
Mhm. And in the background, you see Ashley and Clint respectively finding their puppies. It's just like starry-eyed,
Clint
love at
reacting-
first sight.
Clint, like, looking around at all the dogs and is filled with wonder and amazement, and then sees Winslow and just picks him up and just knows immediately. You.
You.
Grabs
Lick
something like
Winslow
me.
by, like, the
You are
midsection, and
Winslow.
all of Winslow's, like, excess floppy skin just gets fluffed all the way to the front. It's just wrinkles and then a tongue poking out of the wrinkles.
Lick Clint's nose.
This is the greatest animal I've ever seen.
You don't get a bark, you get like a huff. Right in the face.
Heavy exhale.
Yeah, heavy exhale. It smells like kibble.
Yeah.
Versus, I
Snorts.
imagine Ashley's puppy is very, very, very barky and energetic.
Land sharks.
Their
Yeah.
their ears twitch at the same time. Both Ashley's fox ears and the corgi's ears.
Yes. And just like bark, 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 very small barks. And just like Ashley's long sleeve has become chew toy.
Aw.
Just nipping at Ashley's sleeve.
Yeah, so we'll be taking all of these.
Just writes down each all of your contact information. And I will say it is a 10 gold adoption fee per dog. How big are you guys willing to commit to this? You know, wait, hold on, let me look it up. 15 gold because I'm basing it off of real life. $15 adoption fee for processing.
So how many guard dogs are there? We're buying all of them regardless, but
There are 12 guard dogs plus your
Okay,
2 puppies. So that's
okay, so-
14.
okay, so 14 times 15, that's
Almost all of the gold we just got.
perfect.
210.
Perfect.
You guys really committing to dogs?
Yeah, dogs.
Okay.
Amy,
Almost.
have we not been talking about the dogs since the moment you introduced the dogs? We are going to take the dogs.
I should have
and-
doubled the price.
If you double
We
the
still
price,
would have bought them.
if you doubled it to the point where we could not afford all of them, we would have just come back and stole them.
Oh
Actually,
yeah, I know.
that's very true.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
didn't we
no, I
think of that
know.
earlier?
So it's gonna be 210 gold for all of the processing and adoption fees. You guys are going to be having a home check soon,
That's fine.
and then the dogs will be dropped off. You'll be able to either pick up the dogs or they will be dropped off.
Perfect.
They each come with a complimentary name tag. So you
I'm
guys
going
get
to
all
have-
of that.
The fucking magic D&D version of like a fucking chip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It, like once you guys get all your paperwork checked out, it gets enchanted to whoever is on the thing. So that is your dog identification chip. It cannot be removed.
Clint is
Dog
going
tags.
to make a leash out of like strung together bullet casings.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. How the fuck is that gonna bend?
Pharaoh will just
Like by from the rounded sides.
essentially decide that the biggest, dopiest looking like guard mastiff is her favorite.
Hell yeah. You guys hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of dog.
It's like that, but times 100 at the dog event, at the adoption festival.
That tracks.
You having fun, buddy?
Mm.
Anything else you guys want to get done once you get your adoption event squared away? I'd say it's around dinner time.
Nope.
Well, now we gotta go search for the arrow.
Festival starts tomorrow. This is like
Oh,
any last things before the festival starts that you want to get
I got
done.
none.
No, I'm satisfied. We got items, we got quests, we got dog. At one point, Clint is seen carrying what looks like a folded coat. It turns out it's just Winslow.
You don't get the dog now. The dogs will come after you get your shit checked out.
Oh, he has to put Winslow down.
Mm-hmm. He will get Winslow after they do a home check, and
Fair.
check to make sure you
We're-
guys aren't fucking, what's her fucking name from 101 Dalmatians?
Cruella.
Relative
Yeah.
Hill?
Yeah, they just gotta do their paperwork, make sure you're not fucking Corella DeVille.
Have to go ahead and just buy all the supplies that we're gonna need for fucking 14 dogs, and mentally prepare Liff for the fact that there's about to be 14 dogs in the tavern.
So much hair.
Dedicate one whole bedroom.
So much hair. Dedicate a bedroom.
So-
Jesus Christ.
Does that
Well, there's that
mean
many
the day of the-
dogs. You can just put them all in the same bedroom, and they'll fit. It'd be
Mhm.
nice and cozy for them.
Does this mean the day of the festival is when we open up the tavern, or is it the day after?
Tavern opening is on Friday. However, I will say that take you all back home. Whoops, I did not mean to move the map. I wanted to move the players to here. I will say that it has been enough time. You guys have invested a lot of money into this place. And Freddy and his crew have been working hard for a while now.
Freddy and the homies.
And so I'll say that your tavern opens in like 2 days. However, Freddy has had really good rules. And originally the plan was that the tavern would be ready like day of opening and you will not have much time. However, he and his team worked their asses off. Their blood, sweat, and tears have been ingrained into the hardwood flooring. And I will say that your tavern is fixed.
Oh,
Nice.
shit!
Hey.
That's so cute!
I am not at the screen right now, but I'm sure it's amazing.
It's so pristine. It has window seating.
Mm-hmm. Your
Look at this
tavern
shit.
is fixed. You guys come in, and a lot of like drapes were put up to essentially like shield like some dust from some of the drywall and the brick and mortar and the sawdust from chopping wood. And you all come back to find it like this. And on the bar
Oh,
is
go ahead.
a little vase of flowers
Aw.
with a little card from Freddie Doyle and the team. Congratulations.
No.
Aw.
So did they
Freddy's
fix
a real one.
only the tavern portion, or did they fix like the upstairs like hotel portion?
Considering I rolled like 2 nat 20s off of a whim, everything's fixed.
Nice.
They did the whole fucking shebang.
Mm-hmm. How I only have this map of new stuff.
Yeah.
You can just imagine what the rest of it is.
It's like this, but upstairs.
Yeah, it's
I
like
just
this.
wanted to like double check, so in case somebody comes in and says, "Hey, can I have an in room?" Do we have in rooms
Yes.
that are doable?
We should
Yes.
also contact our beer supply.
Mm-hmm.
Them in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You guys should have a shipment coming in on Thursday, the day before the opening. So you guys can all get shit set up.
Which is tomorrow. Right?
Yes.
So after we go to bed. Okay.
Okay. But yes, you all come into a very pristine and clean tavern. Everything looks nice, it smells nice. Good vibes.
Did we ever talk to Baker Grandma?
No.
Oh, we gotta go get Baker Granny.
Yeah, we need to go see if she can, like, at least make
Good job, Z.
some cookies or some shit.
All right, let's go hire Baker Granny.
Okay, do you guys want to do that before this festival?
It's like,
Yeah, we gotta get Granny on board.
we gotta give her warnings make by Friday.
Yeah, you guys can go ahead. Mutt
Oh,
has,
are we
like-
not just hiring her as staff?
I mean, you still gotta talk to her.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can hire her as staff, but we also need to, like, see if she can make things for our opening so there's actual food.
I'll say that she has her own bakery, so she's not just gonna quit and work at your tavern. But you
That's
guys
fair.
can, like, hire her like you are with Eileen. And like, hey, supplier,
Mhm.
Okay. That's fair.
We
say that
buy
she doesn't
X
make-
number of loaves in the morning every day.
Yeah.
Do we have to roleplay that out, or can we just make a deal?
You guys, if you want to just go ahead and skip it, you can. However, I will say that she would have pinched at least one of your cheeks.
Ashley. Ashley.
Why me?
Because she likes you.
Because grandmothers, they look for one that is like the handsome young boy, and then
You're right.
they also feed off of the pain and discomfort
True.
that it causes. And Clint would be like,
That's true.
"Oh, I love you, Granny. Yo, great." She's like, that's not satisfying."
I will say that you would agree to do business, and that she can, for like a certain amount of what you want, she can have. Like, what exactly are you guys looking for here?
Bread. Some snickerdoodles.
Yeah, I imagine
Um,
bread
Yeah.
and cookies and muffins primarily.
Cinnamon
So-
rolls.
So that there's like
Yeah.
stuff for the munching and the meals through the day, so we can just like throw together a sandwich if somebody wants a
Yeah.
sandwich. But also like sweet treats and breakfast items on occasion. Not as much, but because I imagine being able to like say at a medieval inn, we don't need to necessarily serve them breakfast, but being able to say yes, we have fresh baked muffins that get brought in every day that you can purchase is a selling point.
Yeah. So, this goes into like how I'm going to be running the mechanics for this, because how they want to have the mechanics for this in the book, it's like 50 gold per day, per week, essentially. From
I was about to
maintenance
say 50 gold for.
No,
for
sorry.
fucking-
It says. See, here's the thing. It says per 10-day, which is their week.
Hmm.
So I misread it. So it says 50 gold per week for maintenance and wages of hirelings, essentially. Would that be something you guys would be fine doing, or would you want to get more like specific?
It would.
Can we say that in addition to the granny, then we also have like staff to help tend the tavern? Then, if it's just for staff,
You know? Yeah.
Because we
it's
should.
50 for one granny. That's
We could have the one Granny plus Ghost.
Because we need like a waitress and like somebody to help clean up at the very least.
yeah,
If we're
I have-
letting Liff be the bartender.
yeah, and somebody
have
to
an
help
idea
take
for
care
that.
of puppies.
I have an idea
I was-
for that. If you guys would allow me something.
Okay, we will hear you out.
Ants.
Mm-hmm.
The council recognizes the dungeon master.
It would be a social encounter because I think it would be funny.
Oh, I know exactly what you're about to fucking do.
Oh, what am I about to do, Z?
You're bringing in Crush for Clint. That one girl.
Oh no!
Because that was like Granny's like granddaughter or some shit, right?
No, Granny's granddaughter was the very hyper excited child or kid that was at the museum.
Oh,
Aubrey is a noble.
okay.
Oh, she would be a regular customer maybe,
Yeah,
because it's gonna
she'd be
be
a
like
regular
cog
customer, not a
up.
hireling.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, I was not here for that session, so all I know is vague encounters, not the specifics of anybody.
Oh yeah, no. This is
No, you're right.
someone that you guys you guys have not encountered this person. It's just I think this would be funny. And you know what? If you guys want to have like staff, I think this would be entertaining.
Okay, bring it on.
Okay. So
I
we can
can
say
say
that this
that.
happened like a few days ago to keep the timeline in place of like, yeah, they'll be hired in time for the opening and stuff, right?
Interviews.
Yeah, right. I will say that you like at one point we're either going from one place to another for your various like jobs or like expenses, right? Just like hey, we gotta go get this shit, we gotta go get that shit, we gotta go do this job and all that stuff. And you all heard the sound of music in the streets.
Oh. Fox saves Twitch.
What is this? Do you hear that? Am I going deaf?
You're not going to.
Me, sorry, 1 second. And you all travel around, the street corner, and you see a musician in the street. It is a human girl, and she looks to be, performing, and she has like a little wow, I can't share shit, huh? How do I hold on? I have this on my phone, don't I? Because I saved this art a while ago. And what? No, I don't. Wait, my schedule for next week is already. You know what? Whatever. My phone is glitching. Motherfucker. Sorry. Technical difficulties. I'm trying very, very desperately.
Amy's having a
to just-
meltdown.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying my hardest here. I'm trying to, do the things because I think this would be funny. Oh my god, why is it opening my DMs? I hate this. If you guys ever see me do random shit on Discord, it's quite literally because my phone is glitching out. Because my phone doesn't like the Discord app for some reason. Here it is. Okay. So, you guys see a young woman around the age of like 18, human, and she is performing essentially. And she has drawn a crowd that are clapping along with her music as she like spins in a circle with flair. And she gestures out, and you guys see her red hair as she has her fiddle and she finishes her song and with a flourish.
Benny!
And she gestures out of a it's been a while. Give me a second.
Been a while.
It's been a while. Thank you. It's a wonderful show for all of you. If you put a little tip in the box right here, I'd love to play some more for you.
I fucking knew it. Clint will put a tip in the box.
Thank you, kind sir. She looks at all of you. She's like, I haven't seen you around here before.
Well, we haven't seen you around here before either, but probably because we haven't been around here before.
Well, that makes sense. I'm new around here as well. I'm only been here for a few months before I go off to school.
Cool. You know what you should do instead? You should come work for us.
Farah face palming in the back.
Well, what kind of work is it? I'm open to work, but I will be going off for the school year in a few months.
Tomorrow or whenever it is that we're holding this interview, because the quadrants of space and time are indeed quite different compared to our master's will.
Trust me, I understand.
Yes, I assumed you would. We will be opening Trollskull Manor, and we are in need of a performer. and I cannot perform 24/7 as much as I would like to.
Oh, I'd love to perform. I'd love to get some more experience in before I go off. Not to mention, if it's a tavern, I can also do some waitressing. I've done it before in the past.
Perfect. You're hired.
Is there not more of an interview?
Nope. That's all.
We're very easygoing here. And
Actually. Pharaoh just like holds up her hand. Whoa, boys, down.
we should have a little bit more of an interview process instead of just no interview process, please.
Duh.
Darn, I was going for the comedy.
There is
I
a
don't
couple
know
of
if I'd
questions.
want-
There's a couple of questions that you actually need to answer. A little strange. Are you good with strange? Because it's a little strange.
Well, I'm used to dealing with strange and
How are you with
considering
the ghosts?
ghosts. Like
Yes.
the spooky ghosts, like the nighttime stories your mommy tells you to get you to behave at night.
Yeah, well, Charles Coleman is actually haunted. See, they
Well,
are
Larry's
ghosts.
friendly.
Yeah, he's
He is
pretty
friendly.
pretty friendly, as long as you don't mess up the mana anyway. But we do need to make sure that you can play nice with them.
A real ghost?
Yes.
I'd love to meet him. I've never met a real ghost. I've met the costumes with in the bed sheet with the holes cut out, but I've never met a real ghost.
Perfect.
It's just
We'd love
like
to introduce you.
like I said, just don't break nothing, and he'll be fine. He's a little protective of the place, but yeah, we just gotta make sure that you're okay with him. And number one, and then number two, how are you with dogs? Big dogs.
Well, I'm more of a fan of rodents, but I don't mind dogs. I've always wanted a pet mouse, but I don't have one now, so I don't think it'd be much of an issue.
And birds?
Aw.
Well, again, the same thing. I much prefer rodents and very small creatures, but I don't mind birds at all. And I would never want to destroy or harm your building or your business, but again, I'd only be working for probably at the end of the summer I'd have to leave.
Well, we can find somebody else to replace you by then, but looking for a little bit of work and a little bit of money on the side until then. Sure, we can come to an agreement.
Well, I'd love to. I'd like to get more experience with performing.
Fear looks towards the boys and leans a little closer to Finny. And just so you know, if either of them make you uncomfortable, you are allowed to hit them. Just right in the fucking kisser.
Clint, who can't hear what's being said, 2 thumbs up and an excited smile.
Meanwhile, Ashley's ears twitch. And that is the only indication he gives.
She covers her hand to whisper. It's not nearly as good of a whisper as Farah does, but they still can't make it out. But they do hear that she is speaking, and she says, "Are they really that much of a problem? You all seem very nice."
Well, not intentionally, not in a way necessarily too bad.
Well, if they ever do cause a problem, I do know how to use a crossbow, or specifically 2.
Oh, wonderful! You know how to defend yourself too. Exactly what we need in tavern.
I'm a bit of a sharpshooter where I come from, but with crossbow bolts.
Farrah just stands up straight again, nodding approvingly. Hey, you'll fit right in then. Why don't you swing by the Troll Skull Manor up in whatever ward it's in?
In the North Ward, I think.
Up in North Ward, sometime tomorrow. We'll get you acquainted to those that are already there and get you shown around a little bit. Write up any agreements that we actually need.
Sure, I'd love to. And with that, she gives a handshake and a wave.
Hearty farewell.
Yeah, a handshake, a wave, a slight bow before she picks up her fiddle again. You guys have acquired young pre-college Finny
Hmm.
as your bartender
Yes.
/ performer. Do you remember how I messaged you yes or no a while ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. I found this art and I was like, this looks like young Finny.
Yo! I love this. This is great continuity.
This is young Finny, who has not gone to college yet.
That's the secret of this server. We're just slowly gonna make all the fucking D&D games just one shared universe.
Oh, I feel sorry for connecting it to Holy Blood then, because some fuck shit goes down.
That's
No,
a multiverse world out there.
Some fuck shit. Hell yeah.
Big fan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but you guys have some staff. We can say that you also hired a couple, one or two other nameless, faceless staff as well.
Cool.
That you are clear with the whole, hey, you cool with ghosts?
You cool with ghosts, you cool with animals, you're not gonna break anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I hate to be that person, but if we are wrapping up and heading towards stuff, can we start with the festival next time?
Yeah. This is just like, hey, getting all of your shit before the festival done.
Okay. Because I'm like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to, like, stay focused and conscious for the start of a quest.
Yeah, no, all good. Just like, yeah, any last minute things to do before you guys start your little fucking arrow hunt.
No, I'm good. I think this was an incredibly productive series of events.
Yeah, it was. For sure.
Mm-hmm. You guys got new quests. You got your dogs. You got staffing. You got suppliers. You got
We have
fucking...
the safest tavern in the fucking city. Because now we have, like, Baby Bard, 12 guard dogs, a ghost, plus all these rogues, one of which can turn into a big-ass wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody tries to cause problems in this bar is gonna regret it.
Oh, now I have to have problems start at the bar.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
That's not an
you do.
invitation.
Now,
Don't
no,
you want
see,
just like middle of the night, some dumbass schmuck thinks that this will be an easy target?
no, we just gotta, like, convince fucking, like, Davil and Yagra to come over to this bar on occasion, because Yagra will throw down.
Trust me, you just gotta tell her that you guys have alcohol. She'll be here.
I am down for making Yagra an additional security measure.
Like, she just has to be there.
She just has to be there and be vaguely aware that, like, her friend owns this bar.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, nothing is going to happen here. And if it does, I am personally going to pick you up and throw you out.
Mm-hmm. And then steal your drink. Actually, no, she'll steal the drink first.
Steal your drink while picking you up with the other hand.
Mm-hmm. Like, well, you're not drinking this anymore. I'm making sure of that.
Add insult to injury. Poor Liff.
Poor Liv indeed. But you know what? His tavern is going to be open, and that is all he wants in his afterlife.
I can't wait for the tavern to become like it seems like the tavern is going to be the hot spot for the NPCs to gather, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Opening
really want to
night.
build the tavern up to be like super good.
Hell yeah.
All the upgrades.
We haven't even had a lot of combat, and I'm still excited that we got guns.
Yeah.
I've had Feyre since the start, and she's not been able to use her gun a single time thus far.
Use it on Clint.
No,
Guys.
not that fucking gun. She is not going to kill Clint.
Yeah, you guys like nuke everything.
Gotta start adding that
Fun.
extra
We are
zero.
rogues.
Oh yeah. Don't worry. Here's the thing. I am. However, you guys are real squishy. So a lot of the time, it becomes a who can die faster.
Level up win.
We're already over leveled.
Level up.
Yeah. What level are you guys?
4.
4.
You guys will
We've
get
been
level
four-
up soon. Soon.
I was gonna say, like, I don't feel like we're hurting for levels because at level 5 we don't get an extra attack. So we don't get an extra attack or 3rd level spells.
Well,
I
see, and
need
that's
fart smells though.
that's for Clint. Clint's the only single leveled one. Thus, Clint and Butt are the only single leveled ones. Both Ashley and Feyre are multi-classed already.
Oh,
Mhm.
fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's the rogue plus bard and then rogue plus warlock.
I'll say that after. I'm going to say this now. After your Cupid quest, hunt arrow hunt, whatever the fuck, you guys will get level up.
Cool.
So hold me to that if I forget, because I will. But once you deliver the whatever you get, if you do get anything, once you either deliver the arrow to Corey or you come back to her and be like, "Yo, tough shit," you guys will get your level 5.
Okay. Fair enough. Cool. I'm down.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to decide which level I want.
So yeah, that's the wrap up. That's a wrap, folks.
Cool.